Hi guys, welcome back. That's Caspian, my son. He's just chilling. Don't worry, he's safe. He doesn't know how to roll yet, so we're just hanging out and I'm here real close to him. So I want to go over this Haakaa manual pump that I stopped using. And if you're a new mom or parent who's done remotely like any kind of baby rearing research, you would have heard this product, the Haakaa manual pump. And for what it does, it is truly an amazing device because it works so well. And if you guys don't know, the Haakaa is a silicone manual breast pump. It works by using suction to pull more letdown than your body normally would without using it. To use the Haakaa, you place the opening over your nipple, apply suction, and let it attach to your boob. And this allows all of your letdown to be caught in the Haakaa while your baby is feeding on the other side. And as a first-time mom, I was ready to embrace breastfeeding, but it became so clear so fast that I didn't know what the heck I was doing. I didn't know that my teeny tiny A-cup boobs were going to be able to produce so much milk. But what I did know was that I had to use this Haakaa. It was a must-have, and it was recommended, or the most highly recommended nursing item on almost every mommy blogger or YouTuber that I watched or read on. And every time Caspian fed, I popped the Haakaa on the other side to catch all the letdown, and I would get about 3 to 4 ounces of milk just from the letdown in the Haakaa. And I would run to my husband, showing him, look at my milk, look at all this milk that I could produce. And I would squirrel away bags and bags of milk into my freezer stash. But then about 2 weeks passed and my boobs were still rock hard and swollen and heavy all the time. It got so bad to the point that I had lumps of breast milk in my armpit. And at first I thought it was probably a latch issue and my baby was just not draining my breasts well enough, but I hired a lactation consultant and we worked on our latch. And Caspian's latch was fine. And also, Caspian was gaining so much weight of about 50 grams a day when on average his newborn peers were gaining about 30 grams. And so I decided to wait it out, hoping my boobs were just trying to stabilize making breast milk. But then 3, 4, 5, 6 weeks passed and my boobs were still in so much pain, and I was almost sure a lot of my ducts were plugged and that I was gonna get mastitis soon. And the 3 to 4 ounces that I was getting each time of extra milk was just no longer a pleasant experience. It was no longer joyous for me. I was pretty much at my wit's end, and most of my night feedings were spent on Reddit trying to resolve my oversupply. Until I came across one comment saying, stop using your Haakaa. It is pulling out more milk and making your body think you need to produce more. And right when I read that comment, everything just made so much sense. I was already having an oversupply, so much that Caspian would be fully fed off of one breast during each feeding. So I was pulling out more milk on the other side, and my body was thinking that my baby needed all that milk. Since breastfeeding works on supply and demand, the Haakaa was demanding more milk out of my body than we actually needed. And so I stopped using the Haakaa immediately and replaced it with a ladybug catcher. The ladybug catcher is made by the same company as the Haakaa manual breast pump. And the ladybug is meant to passively catch letdown. See this hole here? Passively catch letdown, and it has no suction power. No suction power whatsoever. And in the beginning, my letdowns were still pouring out about 2 ounces of milk. And after about 3 or 4 days of only catching my letdowns with the ladybug, my oversupply resolved significantly. I no longer constantly felt full of pain and so full of breast milk. And I think the takeaway with this though is what you as a parent want out of your breastfeeding journey. If it's important to you that you build a freezer stash, for example, you have to go back to work soon and pumping at work might be difficult, then it makes sense to use the Haakaa and build that stash now. And that's actually the case for me, but my oversupply was making breastfeeding so painful for not only me, but also for my baby. Because if you have an oversupply, your milk letdown may be too strong for your baby and he might choke on the milk. And this will cause your baby to have difficulty latching and also will swallow a lot of air bubbles, which leads to spit up and upset stomachs. On top of that, the more full your breasts are, there will be more fore milk as opposed to hind milk. And that too can lead to upset stomachs and not enough fatty hind milk for your baby, which means the baby or your baby will cry and not sleep. And then you won't get any sleep. But that's already part of our job description, right? No sleep. For all those reasons, I decided that having an oversupply and building a large freezer stash was not as important as giving the right amount to my baby now. Not using the Haakaa was one of the best things I did on my breastfeeding journey, and I wish I had known this from the get-go because it caused both me and my baby weeks of pain and not knowing why. For those of you who aren't struggling with an oversupply, my issue with the Haakaa is probably your resolution. If you need to up your breast milk supply or you have a stable amount and just want more, then the Haakaa is truly an amazing product. But for me, it's a hard pass because it sends my boobs into milk-making overdrive. Thanks for listening to my story. Let me know if you guys have a similar experience. Definitely was not expecting this from the Haakaa, but I truly do love the Haakaa for what it does, and maybe I'll use it in the future if I have another kid. See you guys next time.